was a few of the guys in our group that played in a wedding, and we've all played together for years at church and have been close friends and worshiped together and led worship for St. Andrew's Presbyterian. And so we played at a wedding of a member of our church, and that after the wedding, a good friend of ours, Don Avery, stepped up and said, "Hey, you guys you guys have a talent, and this music is beautiful, and there's a need for you guys to record some of these songs and for other people to enjoy it." And he said, "I want you guys to know that I'll make that happen from a financial standpoint, and helping you guys through the details of getting that done." And it was really a challenge to us to say that needs to not be an obstacle. We need to trust the Lord in doing this. And I think that it's something we could have done apart from that, but his encouragement and motivation really pushed us in that direction.
My favorite part about the whole process was probably just spending time at the cabin the week of recording, and really getting to see the good, the bad, and the ugly in everybody, and how vulnerable we were with 3 and 4 hours of sleep, and just really getting to know one another, get closer with one another, and play music together. It was really fun.
My favorite aspect about this project, and probably the thing I'm most excited about, is the fact that we got to go away for a week and to have been practicing for a year and a half, and wrote some music and sung these songs so many times, and we got to record our worship together, and all the different facets, from writing songs at the farm during the recording week, or the months and years leading up to that. It's just been really exciting to really have a recording of some of my favorite people playing music together, worshiping our Savior.
It was so much fun and such a great experience, and I think that to see that God really provided that and said, "Hey, you guys can do this," and for that to all be laid out there in front of us was really encouraging for me, and I'm excited about that.
The album was entitled "Safely Home" for a couple of reasons. We met over here, actually, at Steve's house, and we were going through some of the hymns that we knew were going to be on the record, and some lyrics in "Come Thou Fount," safely to arrive at home, and we said, well, hey, "Safely Home" is kind of cool, and it was certainly fitting, considering Meredith Avery and the role the Averys have played in this record, and the tragedy of her death during this process was really kind of special for us. We sort of came up with the record name beforehand, but then after that tragedy took place, we just said, hey, this is it. I mean, during that time we were kind of indecisive on a couple of things. We kind of changed our mind on a couple of things, and that really secured our decision.
I had been someone who sort of discouraged us from the idea of writing new music. I felt like that was going to be more than we should try to take on at this point. And we got together, played some songs we knew really well, and we had said, let's not try to get distracted by the idea of writing music. But then the first night that was our plan, we, out of the blue, I actually got up to take a bathroom break, and in that process had this kind of melody pop into my head, and kind of came out and started singing the words to "Come Thou Fount" to that melody, and David had been playing around with this piano part, and it just worked. Those two things just met up perfectly. Regardless of how great a melody may already be, changing that just, I think, provides people with an opportunity to refocus on the words to that song. And so we've kind of moved forward with that, and it's been fun, and it's worked out well, and
special. I mean, that song, for obvious reasons, we asked Don and Farrah to give us some of Meredith's writings, and that song came together. Zach put that music, and Brian really had some suggestions about that song that really made it magical, and just recording that on the porch, and I think that's just a really special song. I think people are really gonna love, and you know, it's very personal and heartfelt, and that's what makes great music, is just music about life. I mean, that's what makes a great song.
My favorite moment from the whole process was probably when I showed up to the farm one night. I'd just gotten off work, had a really long day, and I showed up on the front porch and everybody was gathered, and they played me Always for the first time, and was just blown away by what our group had done with those lyrics that Meredith wrote, and how beautiful of a song that was.
I remember coming up with the idea of Come Christian, not me personally, but us as a group out at the lake, just kind of sitting around, playing around with different things, and you know, I think maybe it was either David or Steve just kind of started with this kind of melody, and we didn't know what it went with, and we were looking through the hymnal trying to find something, and Come Christians popped up and it just fit, and it was perfect.
All Creatures is one of those that we grew up singing, and it was exciting for me to help put some new music behind that song, to really just create a new some new energy with that song, to really help us worship along with the incredible words that were written so long ago.
That song is beautiful, and it's dark, and it's a plea, it's a cry for help, and it's beautiful and dark, and it's in A minor, and that's just, I mean, the rain and the bell, I mean, it's just lonesome, and it's awesome, and a cry for mercy, and I don't know, I think that in a lot of ways we're not like adrift, but like if you think about that, you know, sometimes you sit in a room and you imagine like yourself being in a situation where you're like, what if I was on a raft? This sounds crazy, but like in Castaway, if you were Tom Hanks on a raft in the middle of the ocean, and it was just you and a raft, I mean, I'm saying that's Eternal Father. It's like you, and you're alone. You're gonna die. If somebody doesn't save you, you're gonna die. And that's this song, and it's awesome. It's dark and beautiful.
I heard the voice of...
I think my favorite song on the album is As I Heard the Voice of Jesus Say. The words of that song just, I just think provide so much peace. The idea of coming to Him in rest is just a beautiful thing. I think that song is a song where we didn't write that melody. It's just a beautiful melody that's existed for a long time, and we had some ideas about how to put that down, and I think it turned out really well. And a song that I think the church can sing, and I think that our church has sung that song, and our community and our friends and the people we worship with, and so I love that about it.
You Came to Us is it's a beautiful song, and I didn't have very much to do with it, but it was really neat. During the week, I was not up at the cabin all week long, and so it was really cool to see again how that song evolved from where we started at the beginning of the week, and then towards the end of the week, you know, what parts were added and how that all was incorporated. Steve and Sarah sound really great together, and it's a really beautiful song. David's electric part at the end of that song is one of my favorite little elements on the record for whatever reason, but yeah, it's a great song.
Down at the Cross, that was a song that somebody found, I'm not sure who, in the African American Heritage Hymnal, not one that we see at our church very often. I'd never heard it before, and I think the words and the music that the guys put together were so great to hear something that we probably would never have come across in our singing or worship services, just because we didn't have access to that. It's got a great tune and lots of really powerful meaning, I think, just like everything else that we're trying to put together on this.
I think my favorite song is Down at the Cross. As soon as I put the record in, I immediately go to that song. And it's a song that gets me pumped up. It's a song that I love listening to in the morning, and it helps me worship and just get ready for the day. And I love that it really, the words take us back to the cross. And that's our frame of reference. That's what we need to be centered on. And it helps me do that.
His word was, I had sort of felt like we had started writing songs for the record, and sort of felt like that it would be good for the record overall to have a little bit more up-tempo song, and just a little bit, you know, major key and that sort of thing. So, you know, one night I pulled out the Gadsby hymnal and saw these words, and I really liked them, and just started, you know, writing some music to it. And yeah, my favorite song this week is probably
all these people who just showed up. We recorded these songs and literally just killed it.
I'm really excited about the fact that we're going to win a Dove Award. It's pure and simple.
What's the name of it? I just told you.
I have a list of them right there.
We can do this part again, right?
Yeah.
Me, Rain. Like, that song, we killed that song. And
I actually got up to take a bathroom break, and in that process had this kind of melody pop into my head, and kind of came out and started singing the words to Come Thou Fount.
What's your favorite song of the album?
I don't know. I haven't heard all of them.
Well, I'm gonna put this on there.
Steve killed that song on drums. Killed it.
It was a lot of fun. It was the most fun I've had in many years. And I've got a lot more years to have fun than most of you guys, so.
What? You can't put anybody in front of that. She just killed it.
It was my idea to incorporate the bell somehow, and part of it was I wanted to look cooler on the album credits, to where I had more instruments next to my name.
What's the question?
What's your favorite song?
I think, I don't know why though. 'Cause I don't do songs. It's fun to do this together.
It is, and I think, like in a morbid way, whenever we die, our children can listen to this, and they'll be like, "There's Mom and Dad." And our grandkids will be like, "That's my grandparents, and they're pretty awesome."
I guess I'm most excited about it actually being on a CD that you can hold in your hand.
Most excited about the fact that we actually have an album. It's like the coolest thing ever, just to see this thing come together, to actually see a CD cover and to know that your music is kind of in that thing.
It's been a fun process, and to see something tangible is going to be cool.
I'm so excited. This is something that, you know, it's just such a blessing to be involved with. I never thought that it would come together in this way, and it just shows that you know, God can take something and put a plan together that we think is impossible and make it really work out, and that's exciting for me.
This Safely Home project, this CD that we've all been working on, it is my hope and prayer that they will put this CD in their CD player, in their car, or they will listen to it through their iPod or through their iPhone, and it will help them worship our sovereign Lord and Savior.
My